welcome to my racing stats guide. So in this video I'm going to be showing you some of the best tech and clothing to use while racing, and also how to choose your horse breed in Star Stable. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about some outfit stats, how to know if your stats are good or not, and some racing tips. So yeah. So first off, we're going to be starting by talking about the horse breeds of Star Stable. Now, the discussion of which horse breed is the fastest one has been going on since literally forever, and it also changes quite often as Star Stable releases new horses and changes the already in-game horses. While Star Stable has claimed that all horses are the same speed, there are factors like faster jump times, better precision, faster animation, that can give you a small advantage when it comes to racing. There are a couple horses that are commonly known as being the fastest horses in the game, and those are the Pentavian, but not to be mistaken as the Arabian Thoroughbred. Also, the old model Fjord horse, which is no longer available for purchase if you're a new player, and the Morgan. There's also the wild horses and the Percherons. Those two horses are believed to be amongst the fastest horses in the game, along with having a boosted jump. Though these horses are a lot bigger than the average horse, and it can in some cases cause a disadvantage because they are really big, and I personally noticed this while I'm racing with my Percheron, but it's really up to you if that's an issue for you or not. As for ponies, there are less differences in speed and performance, but the Gen 3 Jorvik ponies can turn mid-air, which can give an advantage in races with limited space. Now let's take a look at our stats. So our equipment stats are the most important thing for both you and your horse, as it's the only stat that you can actively change. So looking at your player gear, these are your total stats for each stat, and your max stats are going to depend on which level you are and also what equipment you're wearing. So if we hover over here, you can see that this is the max stat and this is the level stat, and then the equipment stat, which then makes up the total stat. So you can't do anything with your level stat except for level up, but your equipment stat changes based on the equipment that you're wearing. If you hover over your clothes, you can see the stats of the equipment, and there are recommended equipment stats for having maximum stats. So I'm going to list them all now so that you can make sure that your equipment is up to the standard that it's supposed to be for you to have the best stats. So these are the stats that you should look out for when you're using equipment and also when you're buying equipment. These are the stats that you should really be looking out for. Also, the care stat does not really matter. If you find something that you want to use and it doesn't have the care stat, then that doesn't really matter because the care stat is a dump stat, so you can disregard that. So now for the horse gear, the horse stats works in the same way as the player stats, and I'm gonna give you a list of the stats that you need to follow there too. It's very important that you follow these stats, especially the swiftness, because losing one swiftness point can actually mean a lot when it comes to racing. So here are the stats that your equipment for your horse should have. I have written 3 speed, but by that I mean swiftness. It's just for space sake. And also a lot of people actually forget to do horseshoes. I don't know how that's possible really, but I've seen a lot of people forget that, so just make sure that you get horseshoes. So if you make sure that all of your gear has the stats I just mentioned, you actually have the maximum amount of equipment stats you can have. If you find it hard to find equipment with these stats, I'm going to show you my personal racing gear recommendation, which you're free to copy. I also cannot recommend this website enough. It's a Star Stable database. It's so useful. It basically has every single item in the game and horse, so that if you want to know where to buy something or the stats or how much it costs, you can go on there. So I would really recommend using this website. So this is the racing outfit I use. I use this equipment and this outfit every time. There's definitely more aesthetically pleasing outfits out there, but this is the outfit with the best stats, especially the horse gear. But here's all of my player gear named and where you can find it, but I'm pretty sure that you can find most of it in the global store. And here's my horse gear, which my horseshoes are from a quest, but I'm pretty sure that most people have done this quest. But if you haven't done it, then you can buy horseshoes with the same stats in the global store. I think they're called like Marsden's intermediate horseshoes or something like that. So how do you make sure that you have the highest stats possible looking away from the equipment? Well, for your player, there's not really that much you can do other than level up. your stats level up in the same rhythm as your level. So if you're higher level, then you will have higher stats. To make sure that your horse is the fastest it can be, you have to be sure of a couple things. And the first thing is that the horse needs to be in a good mood. If your horse is in a bad mood, it will be significantly slower. If your horse is in a good mood, it will move 10% faster than normal. A good mood is achieved by caring for your horse every single day or having stable care. But you can also pay a veterinarian to make your horse instantly in a good mood for 100 Zar coins. You can find veterinarians at most championships. You can also feed your horse with the Happy Hoof / Jolly Hoof treats to increase their mood. Now that you and your horse are all set, you're ready to race, but if you don't feel comfortable in racing, then there are several things that you can do to practice. A really good way to practice for championships is to go on YouTube and just search for championship shortcuts. These videos will show you all the shortcuts for championships, and they will also give you a big advantage. You can also practice these shortcuts or just to race in general by going to the championship site and doing the practice runs. So yeah, and that's it. Have a fun time doing championships and racing, and I hope this video was helpful. And I'll see you next time. Bye!